Um, so Michelle, you and I are just going to do this and people are going to watch. And then if you guys want to put in questions, we'll look at them periodically. For those that are, it's technically not 6 o'clock, but I'm starting. For those of you that are joining us, Michelle was kind enough to just, and I'll do a proper introduction in a second in case we turn this into something. But Michelle was kind enough to agree that this would be cool to share with everybody. So hi everybody, this is Diane Hockman and I'm with Michelle Mock, and Michelle is out in Hawaii and I'm in Connecticut. So we have a 9-hour time difference right now. Is that right? No,
Six. No. It's noon. It's noon.
9 hours to fly. Like it's.
Oh, at least that. Yeah.
I'm all a tizzy. And here we go. When I'm quiet, it's fine. It's just as soon as I start talking.
Do you have something to drink with you in case that helps or anything? Okay, good.
Sure do. A big
Awesome.
cup of iced tea. So, Michelle, tell me and everybody basically what's been happening.
Okay, well, so, and I think you had.
Oh, wait, before you do, I'm sorry, one more thing. Okay. Just a disclaimer for everybody that's here. This is like a session with somebody that I work with, so we're not going to be hiding what we're involved in. Do your thing. Just learn from this. If you're interested in the product we're talking about, feel free to reach out to Michelle or me, depending on which route you came from and whatever. And well, I think I'm the only one that invited anybody to this, but maybe you resonate with Michelle, feel free. And anything else that we talk about, you can just reach out to me. But just in case you wonder what we're talking about. So anyway, with that being said, go ahead, Michelle. What's going on?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is because I know you had already, when you had emailed or done a brief live, that you told people that I'm on your team. So you're my sponsor in Home Business Health and Wellness One. And so what I've been doing is, and I actually started this to lose weight after I had seen you, post about losing weight. And having
Look, I have a neck now, Michelle. It's fabulous.
You do. Well, you're just defined. Me too. And I only have like one chin, not 3. Right?
Hey, we're in progress.
But I have to tell you, the weight loss is the bonus, because it really was the good energy. And, that's what I saw. I noticed that you were out walking in the morning, because you used to be night owl. And I'm like, whoo. So that got my attention. So that's how I got started, was really to use the product. But, I'm like, okay, yeah, this works for me. I want to do something with it as a side gig. And honestly, right now, as a medical doctor, what I've been doing has been working for a state agency doing psychiatric disability evaluations. And I was going to go back in May and do some of those. Well, they've canceled all those appointments and they aren't scheduling any because of what's going on with, the COVID-19, the pandemic. And so, I'm glad I have this, because what I'm making now is able to pay for my product plus some, even, I was just doing it really part-time. So, besides, friends and family seeing me in person and the things that I post on my personal Facebook page, I have a business Facebook page that I actually started back in 2011. And that's when I first met you in October of that year. And yeah, I know, time flies. We met at the MLSP Live the Dream 2 afterwards. There was a post-event seminar that you came in and kind of helped corral, and that's how I got to know you, and did a December intensive, and then kind of worked one-on-one with you to help me craft my story the way it was back then. And I kind of built a little bit on that Facebook page, but then I had gotten sick, with that complicated hysterectomy and thyroid cancer. So I kind of closed that page down. Well, I've reopened it probably back in September, and it really is for people like me. It's mostly middle-aged women, perimenopause, postmenopause, weight loss, thyroid, supplement, things like that is their interest.
All the above.
And so I've learned how to do that instead of just, marketing to everybody. I've done that. So what I've done, in addition to my recipes and my little supplement info and menopause info, every now and then I'll throw out a post about my weight loss, something, as simple as, I'm 65 pounds lighter, my waist 13 inches smaller. It has a message button. I don't say reach out to me, nothing. And I was floored with the number of people reaching out to me. And even in this pandemic time, I will tell you, people want to get healthy. They want to lose weight. I mean, now more than ever, people are wanting to support their health and wellness. And so what happened in particular, and I know we talked about this when we were both in Dallas before you came down with kind of the coffee and the stuff that was going on, about how I could handle the volume, because, you know, Facebook doesn't let me control when or how much they show. And what I've done is I boosted my post. So if somebody has a Facebook page, they probably notice it doesn't get much traction.
Let's take a look at your page.
Okay.
What is it, Dr. Michelle Mock?
No, it's Michelle Mock, MD.
Hi.
Yeah, there you go. That should be it.
Okay, so she has almost 10,000 people that like her page, which is huge. But for those of you guys that are, you know, whether you use a page or not, profile is your regular, you know, your profile, a page, basically Facebook doesn't send any traffic to it, hardly any. So even with 10,000 followers, she probably gets a trickle. So what she's done is she's, let me see if I can find one that we.
Unless it's a post of guacamole and then there's like 200 people that liked it. Although I did boost that as well.
Isn't it funny how the guacamole,
I love this.
Everything.
That's my brother. He actually has been watching what I'm doing, and he's been using some of the supplements with the company, but he finally is doing our flagship combo to lose weight. He just started.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
cool.
there's the guacamole.
So guys, you can run a little ad that's called a boost. And what you can do is just basically throw 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks at it to get some more people to see the information. So like, look at Michelle here. I'm just scrolling through. She has 5,500 views on a video about thyroid function, etc. Now, a lot of you guys are going to sit here and go, well, I'm not a doctor. No, you're not a doctor. You're something else. I'm not a doctor. I've had in the past with weight loss and in selling weight loss, people will say, well, I didn't lose 65 pounds, and you know, because I don't have that much to lose. And I'm like, be thankful you don't have that much to lose. Everybody has a way, something to market. And you guys can, you know, I have a lot of free time on my hands, so I'm open to do different sessions. Michelle's done sessions with me before. If you need help and clarity of figuring out what your thing is that you can use, but Michelle is a doctor. She's not a practicing, she doesn't practice in the office or anything right now, but she does have the credential. She's actually a psychiatrist, correct? Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. So weight loss is not my thing. And honestly, right now, most of my customers are from my personal page anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a couple practices that people are being taught right now. One of them is, and I personally don't operate this way, but people are being taught. I'm going to make you big again for a second. People are being taught. So one of the things that people are being taught, and I'm not saying it's wrong, by the way, it's just not the way I personally would approach, but a lot of people are ending up in this situation, is to make a curiosity post, what they call a post that, you know, is something like Michelle could put up, I've lost 65 pounds, ask me how, with a before and after picture, and then, you know, put info in the comments, stuff like that, because nobody wants to drop a link anymore because we're all afraid of links. Because Facebook doesn't.
And you can't boost it before and after.
Yeah, Facebook doesn't like a million things, but everybody gets
exactly. And they change their mind all the time.
So worried about this, and they do change their minds. Actually, yesterday I was posting and I couldn't figure out. I always get response to my posts, and I was getting like 0 response. And I started thinking there was something wrong, or I was in Facebook jail. And then I was like checking because they updated the app. No, my settings got changed that I was posting only to myself.
Me too.
Yeah, I think when they updated the app, it did that to everybody.
Okay.
So it took me a little while to figure out. So Facebook's always changing. In fact, today I logged in to do a very brief live, and they had changed the whole interface for Facebook Live. They're always changing. So in any case, what happens is if you have something interesting or good, if you don't, you basically get crickets. You say, ask for info, or, you know, DM me for info, or put info in comments, and you get nothing. And then
good enough, you don't even have to say that. They just reach out.
yeah. So if you have something that nobody wants, you get nothing. But if you happen to have something that interests people, you can literally get hundreds of comments. And that's what's really been happening for you. Is that true?
It has. In fact, not this weekend, but the weekend before, I had boosted, and I go back and boost the same post. So it's an older post. So I don't even know if you saw it in the scroll down, but it was the one about, you know, I'm 65 pounds lighter, my waist 13 inches smaller. Yep. And my energy, and then up above it, I'm like, and my energy is the best it's been in ages. That's it. There's a message button on it. And on like a Thursday, I had gotten like 75 people just boom, 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 reaching out. Part of the issue was, you know, I'm 6 hours earlier than the East Coast time. So a lot of that, I didn't know my boost went live. It was like, you know, I was sleeping. And so I had a bunch of people stacked up kind of waiting. And so some people will, on your comments, you know, on my comments, I'll put info, how, some might actually say info, please. And on occasion, I'll be like, oh, I really need this. And that's the ones I actually, you know, go and pick out first to comment to, or they send me a direct message. And I tend to go through the direct messages first, because I know they've taken that extra step to hit a button. So maybe they'll be more interested. But 75 people all at once. And, you know, that was a day I worked 14 some odd hours, you know, trying to go through. And I wanted, and I found a little bit like, if I, even in the comments section, you know, and some people are saying how, because they want me to post everything right there so everybody can read and be done. I'm like, no, I want to start a conversation. And, you know, some people can, well, I don't know why she's not just saying it. And I'll go on there and say, hey, you know, what I'm doing isn't for everybody. And I ask questions to see what might be a right fit for a resource. And some people tell me a lot of personal details, and I tell a lot about myself, and we don't need that out in public on Facebook.
Okay, so stop. I'm going to give you one thing first.
Yeah.
For all of you, never, ever, ever explain yourself to anybody.
So just leave that blank?
Well, listen, the minute you start explaining yourself, you're going to lose half the crowd because you're on the defensive. Okay? So don't explain yourself, because you're lowering yourself to that energy. Okay? You've got the cookie. They want the cookie. And then when somebody gets in there and starts doing that baloney, I personally just delete the comment.
Okay.
Or I utilize it in some way, but what I don't do and will never do, and I was talking about my mentor, by the way, so I'm passing along, is explain myself. You weaken yourself when you explain.
Okay,
yourself.
I think I was probably taking that as a doctor point of view, because I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not going to ask people personal stuff out in public, and that's why.
Right, and
you know,
you didn't do anything wrong, Michelle. But I'm just trying to show you how to position.
So you're just like, delete it. They don't know me. I don't know.
A lot of this game is about the way, and people hear this word and they think it means something different than it does, is the way you posture yourself. Michelle, if you have a patient that comes in and they start, and in your field, maybe they're giving you grief has to do with their circumstances and their, you know, what's bothering them that they're there to see you for. But if you were, let's say you were a medical doctor and you were working with, you know, people coming in to the emergency room, right? And he's coming in and they start questioning you right away. Are you going to sit and start kind of kowtowing or freaking out to them? Or are you going to handle the situation? Because the minute you lose your positioning or posture as a doctor, you're going to be in trouble. You follow what I mean?
Oh, I definitely follow what you mean. I didn't feel that way when I was replying.
Mm-hmm.
No,
and I'm sure you didn't, but what happens is they're questioning you in front of everybody. They're challenging you. And so, yes, if you felt that your reply was utilizing that, that's awesome.
Because I have a couple of people say, oh, okay. And then they messaged me.
No, and if you're utilizing their challenge to reposition, that's good. And I didn't see it. So you might have said something to the effect, you know, that well, everybody's different and I can't help people unless I talk to them for a few minutes. That might have drawn more people closer to you, and it might have been the very best thing to do.
Well, honestly, yeah. And that
What you
person
to do
was
is
probably a
explain
therapist,
yourself.
right? Okay.
So what I find is, and in fact, I find it a lot in our group, is people feel like they have to explain something to somebody that has no business relationship with you yet. Okay. So I just want to, when I hear that, I want to caution. Now, if you used
I
it
got
properly,
that.
because you had enough skill to use it properly from your professional background, awesome. But for everybody else, it's important that I mention, if you have a slew of comments or people asking for information for all of you, and somebody's getting obnoxious with you, never, ever, 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 ever feel a need to explain, to justify, to defend in any way, shape, or form. The minute you do, you lose your posture positioning, unless you're skilled enough to flip it and use it, which you apparently are.
I don't know. I had one she put scam, and I thought, oh gosh, you know, and of course these happened when I was sleeping. So now I've learned I pause my boost when I go to bed so that things are.
Yeah, you can schedule it to be
Yeah.
certain hours. And
And so I put, nope, not a scam.
again,
But I put my face to face up. I put this is
Doesn't
me.
matter.
They don't see my face to face.
because you're trying to defend yourself. If somebody calls you, you're a doctor, and somebody calls you a scam,
Just delete it.
yeah,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Yeah, delete it, because that's aggressive. I do not tolerate anybody being a, prove it or this and that. Look, my fat ass is being smaller. You know, that's the proven out. I'm not looking. Listen, and write this down. And you've heard me say this 100 times over 9 years. I'm looking for people that are looking for me. And what we're doing today.
And I don't really want to work with somebody who's off on some straight.
Well, if they're walking in the door giving you crap, they're not.
Okay.
Some people are like, you can flip them, or you can do this, or you can overcome the objection. Michelle, if you got 75 people, there's 7 people in there that have no objections. And I want you all to hear that. If you can learn to create something that enough people are inquiring about, there's 7 people that don't have an objection. Why are you wasting time trying to convince somebody who does? If you run out of leads, and by the way, these are not leads, these are, and I'll explain that in 1 second. If you run out of people, okay, great, go back. Until you've gone through and sorted through the folks, and we're going to talk about that now, until you've sorted through the folks,
don't even.
Why would you waste a minute? You just said, I spent 14 hours dealing with these people. Now I'm going to ask you the hard question. I want you to answer like super honestly. For 14 hours and responding to all those people, how many sales did you make?
How many sales? I haven't had any sales out of that yet.
Yeah. So see what I'm saying? You just spent 14.
I have videos out. I have 34 videos out, but I don't have any sales yet.
Okay. And there might be. And I'm not being negative, but what I want to teach you guys is your job, contrary to what some other people teach. And again, I'm not negating what they teach. This is just what I do. Your job is to sort through the people to locate the ones that are exactly perfect for you. Your job is not to convince anybody. Your job is not to spend hours chasing anybody, because that's kind of what this is, right? It's I'm trying to get this information out to all of them. Okay? And I am all for talking to individuals, but not until I've sorted them. Because if you sent out 75, how many videos you got out? 30 some on?
Yeah, I think 34.
Okay, so 50% don't even have a video.
Well, that's out of 150 people, because I had another day.
Okay, so then you really it's even smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a huge percentage that don't have a video because you either can't get through to them, or they don't respond to you, or whatever the case may be, and then a percentage that have seen a video. But we haven't done what is my cardinal rule number 1. Michelle, do you know what the 4 C's are? Have you heard me talk about them?
Yes, I have it. Something collect. Okay, now, but it's written down in a notebook, but I know. Okay.
Okay.
Teach me
So
again.
we're going to review it now, because this is going to help you here.
Okay.
And by the way, all of you need to understand what Michelle's done is tremendous. She's done more than 98% of people will ever do. Okay. So when I show her how to channel people and sort people, there is no criticism of the activity that she's done. She's done more than 98% of people, and that's what made me say let's get on to work on this.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to sort to find those people
Right.
who were looking for me.
And by the way, this is what happened to me: is I learned how to run an ad, and then I had all these people I didn't know what to do with them.
Right.
Very first experience with that marketing text.
That was me.
Jot it down. It's collect,
Right.
capture, communicate, and collect, capture, communicate, and close. So you collected them. You collected 150 people. You skipped capture and you went right to communicate. Right?
Right.
So now you're taxed with hours and hours and hours of chasing one-on-one. Now you have to follow up with 30 some odd people that got a video because they probably aren't coming to you and you have to go after them. Right?
Right. Just a couple have been, yeah, what are
Right.
these,
So guys, they always joke and they call them suspects, prospects, leads, so on. Okay. A suspect is somebody that's like, hey, I'd like to hear about that. And by the way, on Facebook or on social, there's people all over that say info. Like I sometimes I post something that there is nothing to get. It's just a post and I have people writing info. To write info. So it's like a knee-jerk reaction, like hitting a like. Okay. So there's a gazillion people that will say info. They're not serious. They're not buyers. They're just lurky-loos, whatever. So you have those people that will actually opt into something. Give you their email, give you their phone for text, give you whatever you're using. Join a Facebook group. Doesn't matter. Then you have prospects, people that have actually either that have shown a sincere interest, reached out to you, or in my case, I'm usually selling something up front that's small ticket to kind of just sit and sort the people in. For this company, we have a $29 7-day trial pack. Now, what we don't want to be doing is doing an inordinate amount of effort to sell a $29 pack, because the power is in the product. So we want to get as many people to try that product. And now I've been paid $15 because, guys, it's $29 when we make $15. I've been paid $15 to follow up with them. Paid for my time to follow up with them and help them feel the product. Okay. So we need a sorting system where they can either join a Facebook group, into an email list, or want to use some type of texting system or a messenger bot. All of those are viable options. Now, I know you want to make it personal, but they have to move through the hoops to get personal with you.
Right. The only thing I've, done so far to at least sort initially is once, they've either sent that how or the info, and I hook into, and my business page has a different, it's Messenger, but it's different than my personal messenger. And so, you can't make phone calls on it. You can leave voice messages, but I will put, hey, I saw your comment. Are you just curious? Or you want to lose weight? And if so, how much, if you don't mind me asking? And so,
yeah, but you're giving them, what you're doing is you're doing something before they've raised their hand enough.
Okay. Yeah. Cause I was gonna say there's a lot that don't even answer to that. So at least I know that they aren't even.
Yeah. So what we want to do is in the post,
okay,
we want to, if you're using your business page, on your page, you absolutely can put a link. Okay. Especially if you're boosting, that's what they want you to do.
Okay.
You're either saying, find out how, join my free Facebook group. Okay. And or find out how here, and you're going to put a link. The link would be to a capture page, and on that capture page, I would put a video of you saying, hey, you made it. I'm so excited to share with you how I've lost 65 pounds and 13 inches off of my waist. My name's Michelle. And when you put in your name and email, I'll fill you in.
Ah.
And then they put in their name and email. And on the second page, and I'll say this again so everybody can jot it down. On the second page, you'll have another video that you tell your story. And Michelle, you don't have to tell everything because you have a lot of story. Tell the story about I had a lot of health issues. I had this, and that. Was exhausted, always needed to take a nap. You know, the Larry Thompson version of your story.
Yeah, I have it to under 5 minutes. What timing do you think is good?
Too long.
Okay.
Too long. Okay. And then below it, there's a link where they go ahead and buy the $29 product, and you're just linking directly to the corporate page. Now you can do this with, if you use My Lead System Pro, ClickFunnels, Lead Pages. I don't know what you have access to, or I can help you get access to something.
Yeah, I have MLSP, back in 2012, it was like a lifetime platinum, but I don't know that it has all the functionality that it has.
It does.
Oh, it does? Okay. I'll have to go look then. Okay. I'll have to go look.
It has Funnelizer. It does. We could take a look together.
Okay.
Because we could do a part 2 of this where we could build it out.
Okay.
If you want. Because I know I have other people that have those lifetime accounts.
Okay. Yeah, I actually did not ever, because I got sick in 2012, and so I basically kind of didn't use that, and so I just have it. I've not.
So too, I have several people that got that, and then they added these different things. You can, and I'm not suggesting it because I don't think you need it right now. But at a later date, if you find you need more of their functions, like their business center or something that you don't have access to, you can contact support. They'll actually give you a price on what it would cost to upgrade.
Okay.
So like Tracy and some other people have done that. So, they prorate it and you have access to it. But why spend money when you don't need any?
Right. I love that.
You don't need to. No, I'm all about profit. I want to make a living. So I want, obviously if you're buying something, I would love if you would buy it from me. All of you, including you, Michelle, please, and you're here and you've been such a good person to me all these years, but about becoming profitable. Now, let's say you start running with this and it starts making you a bunch of money and now you want to create some info products and you need another tool that they have, then you upgrade because it's profitable. But, I don't prescribe go out and spend a bunch of money. I prescribe have a plan on how something's going to make you money. And every program I pick is based upon that. How quick can somebody get break even or profitable? So this process is still very personal. They're still meeting you. They're still putting in their, their name and their email. They're still hearing your story.
Yeah, I like that they get to see me talk in a video, because that was like typing stuff out, and I'm like,
You also can say in the video, if you have special questions, my email's right below this. Feel free to reach out to me. If you're ready to get started, go ahead and get your $29. What I want you guys to understand is, me selling is like a buffet. There's different analogies for this, but this one is when you walk up to the buffet, you eat until you're full, right? Everybody is full at different points. We have products, so we're full quick, right? Our products are great. So one person wants to talk to you. I'll tell you right now, most people don't want to talk to you until they want to talk to you. When they want to talk to you, they want to talk to you now. A lot of people don't want to talk to you and they're going to buy it. They just want to see that you're real. So now you're sorting these people.
Oh yeah, because if I put something where I wanted info, and this is just me personally, and somebody like right away said, hey, you want to get on the phone and talk about it? I'd be like, no.
Exactly. And that's why I've never understood about the bulk of network marketing teachers and stuff like that. They're always like, get them and talk to them and this and that. And people don't want to talk to you. What they want is information and to feel comfortable. So you can even put a video with your story, and then below it, you can put a link to 3 videos on YouTube or something that say, you know, here's how you take the products. Here's how you know, here's, you know, this and here's that. I mean, you can, point is it's a buffet. Let them eat until they're full. So if they want more, let them have more. If they actually want you and you feel good about that, put your email address, or even you can get a Google Voice number and put it. But some people will just see you, go, wow, she looks great. I want it. Boom, they'll buy it. Okay, that's the 7 people out of the 75, or you know, 15 people out of 150, right? That's the ones that you want. That's the cream. The cream rises to the top, guys. The people that want to buy, if you get in front of a large enough audience, most people have not gotten enough people in front of their info. You have. Now you have to learn to sort them, and you have to let the cream rise. And then you skim the cream off and you sell to that cream. Now here's what's neat about this particular program. And it just takes practice, and you have to work with me. That's why these little 3-way chats and stuff are so important that I teach you guys. Believe me, I don't want to do 3-way chats all day, but they're really necessary, and you've done them. They're light, they're simple. What happens is, out of 10 people that buy one, okay, and if the chat is done properly, it's really easy to say, well, if anybody's noticed a difference, you can, you know, help them get one of these samples too. And you'll actually make $15, help cover your product. Now you have to have a little experience to know when to insert that. You don't want to be pushy, but you want to make sure they know. Oh, wait a minute, I could sell these too. Or wait a minute, my best friend wants to do it with me. And so out of 10 people that buy a 7-day, you usually can get at least 3 of them to move a few samples. And now it becomes a self-generating process where there's people's people to work through. Network marketing really is a warm market business, guys. And we go to the cold market to find a few people that we can work through their warm market. You'll notice my whole team is warm market. Think about it. Everybody that, you know, I signed and that I work closely with and stuff, they're all warm. I haven't, like, you know, recruited a stranger yet. I'll get there. And it's the same in everything I do. I'm developing relationships. I'm saying, here's the info. You point, don't pander. Okay, you point. If I'm sitting all day responding to everybody, I'm exhausted. If I'm running more ads and getting more people in front of the offer and just being their buddy, then I'm fresh, and then looking for my handful of people that are the right people. Now you could do the same thing, by the way. I'm a big fan of the email list, as you know, okay? Because the email list is an asset you can take with you and that you can control.
And I have a Weber that I got from you.
So building the pages,
okay,
a little bit of time and effort, but you can get it done in a day or 2 if you focus.
Well, that's worth it for, you know, like sorting it. Yeah, definitely. Because even for me, just even cutting and pasting stuff that I was doing takes
yeah, well, it's taking you hours, and the reason why I wanted to talk to you is because most of it is futile. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
150 people respond, 150 people look at it. Even if only 15 people went, you have skimmed the cream. And I'm always looking, my philosophy is always sort them, don't sell them. Sort them, don't sell them. Because they sell themselves. And most everybody that's here has bought something from me. Okay? Everybody that's here has bought something from me. Guys, did I close you or did you sell yourself?
Oh, I sold myself.
I know you did.
I didn't know the name of the company or what was in the supplements, but I was like, I knew you.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what results you were getting. I knew your, you know, your reputation in business. I was like, I'm in.
And you knew I wouldn't pick something that was, you know, not big because I always build for the long term. I don't build for the short term. So when you think about it, people, right, Jackie just said I sold myself. But you, and guys, even if I were a scammer, jammer, mama, you know, you still sell yourself. You know, like people, like they sit and they justify to themselves, right? You go out, you're looking at shoes. Oh God, they're so cute, but they're $100. I didn't plan on that, but they look so good with that outfit. Oh, but they're so expensive. Oh, but they're so cute. Oh, wait, there's a 20% off coupon today if I use my credit card and get myself further into debt. Okay, I'll do it. You know, and you just sit there. Like usually you're not even talking to a salesperson, you're talking to yourself. Okay? Talking to yourself. Now, the way I do it is I create mass messaging and then I let people talk to themselves. So I'm in the picture, but I'm not with them. The only ones, and Michelle, the reason why we're doing this today, because a lot of people have been going, she didn't offer to do a one-on-one session with me and she's not helping me.
This is helping all of us.
The reason why we're doing this is Michelle has 150 people. There's business there because I'm a business lady and I want to do business. And Michelle's in my lineage and I want to help Michelle sort through, because if I let Michelle keep running ragged 14 hours a day, Michelle ain't going to be around very long.
Well, I don't know. The product's really good. I'll still be on those, but you're
No,
right. I mean, I'll be burned out. I'll be like, I can't do this. I got to go back and see some patients in the office. Yeah.
Because you get tired, you get burned out.
Yeah.
So Michelle has gone through, anytime people have prospects or suspects in this case, right? I'm watching and I'm going to step in. When I see somebody has a bunch of new customers and they haven't done a three-way with me, when I see people that are selling samples, I step in and I go, 7-day trial packs. I step in and I go, hey, I saw you had a trial pack. Have you learned the three-way process? I'm constantly watching the whole team. And by the way, there's people from my list here. There's people from MLSP here. There's people from True Vision here. It's the same. Unfortunately, in MLSP, I'm blind. So if you're underneath me in MLSP and you got new members, I can't see that because it's an affiliate program. You should tell me so I can help you. You should tell me. In True Vision, our MLM, I can see. I get a notification every time something happens. So I know what's going on. And in this particular case, Michelle had told me she has all of these people around. So Michelle, what I want to tell everybody and you is, so let's say you go, I don't want to build this whole thing. Cool. The other way to do it is to say, join my free Facebook group. Okay, that is how I would do it, but it's another way to do it. For people that don't have the resources for whatever reason to build a page, whatever your story is about why you can't, which is a story, Facebook is accessible to everybody. So now in Facebook, I want to create a group. I want to create units in the group. So it has to be a social learning group. There's different categories of groups. I want to create units in the group. And I'm going to have like video 1 is my story. Video 2 is how the products work. Video 3 is, whatever you want in there. Okay. And I'm going to have a message. That's the welcoming message. And whenever somebody new joins the group or requests to be in the group, Michelle, I'm going to go on the sidebar for a second and come back to where I'm just saying.
I'm just taking.
Make sure you set up some questions. Set up a group, guys. You can set it up so that they have to answer some questions to be admitted.
Right,
So
right.
the questions could be, are you looking to lose weight? How much are you looking to lose? What have you tried before? Those would be the ones I'd ask. Make sure that there's some questions before you let them in. Make sure they fill them out. So when you let them in, tag them on that welcome message that gives them directions on how, who you are, what your story is, how the products work, how to order. So it's you've probably heard of the ATM method. I don't even know what it stands for. Something tag method.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I just didn't.
So,
okay, so that's kind of what this is.
So if you're going to use a group and not a capture system, like not a little funnel, how I would do it. Now here's why, in my opinion, the funnel is better.
Okay, I was going to ask. So you prefer?
Because you can connect an autoresponder and follow up via autoresponder.
Okay. So now
You can't follow up. Now, in a group, you can follow up by posting, and you can post stories and before and afters and invite to our, webinars that we have, our presentations.
But Facebook has control of it.
Correct. And you don't know if people are getting the notifications. You don't even know if it's coming up in their feed. So, both sides have their advantages and disadvantages. Facebook all day. Groups are there. They're easier, quicker. A Facebook, I could set up a Facebook group right now in about 10 minutes max. To create these pages would take me a little bit. But I have zero control. Facebook can block me. I have no way to directly message these people. So two sides. A lot of people like the groups for their downlines because they're just simple. I think you're ready really to come to the next level, Michelle.
Okay.
I think you're ready to start to have a brand of your own. And that brand should be about you and changing your life and what you've been through. And these are the products I'm using right now. And I'm not supposed to say this because I'm her upline. And if anything ever happened, you can always change your supplier if the people belong to you.
Right.
That's the attraction marketing me. I have to teach this like ethically, like you. I have to give you informed consent. Things can change. Do I think anything's going to change at True Vision? No, they just had their best month ever. They're rock solid year-old company.
But way back when, there was a company I was with that I was maybe trying to start to build, but it ended up being I was allergic to an ingredient in the flagship product that I liked. And then my integrative cancer doctor said I couldn't take one of the others I liked because of my cancer situation. So I didn't feel like I could promote it. And then in the end, I think that company ended up getting bought out or merged with somebody else anyway. So you're right.
See what I'm saying? Something can happen. Something can turn, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's with the company, whether it's with an upline. I could turn into an evil monster or something. You've known me for 9 years, but you never know. I could turn into the big bad wolf, and then you might say, I don't want to bring people around, or anything can happen. And so that's why having your own list is to your best advantage. But if you want to go quick and you need something because you have these people now, you could also set up a group very, very, very quick.
But you wouldn't do both. It's one or the other.
Not necessarily. Actually, I would have the list first, and then in the list in the letters, I might say, hey, by the way, I've set up a really cool Facebook group where we all talk about.
Okay.
Or you can use Vision Group Health, if you want to take more of a role with that. Jackie, I just kind of handed it over. If you guys really want to crank that thing up, you can, or if you want to create your own, you can. Whatever you want to do, but having a community place for people to hang out is great, because then they have the intimacy of you one-on-one. Because when I write a letter, I'm only writing to one person, because only one person reads at a time. And then you have a community where people are interacting and commenting.
I formed a group within my page, but I haven't opened it or anything, but I kind of put something there.
And let me give you another trick. When you set up a group, get it all set before the people come, go ask some friends, including me, hey, will you guys be in this group before the people come so it looks populated?
Okay.
You don't want an actual prospect to be the first person in the group. Go grab a bunch of us, friends, and Jackie and Ray and me and, and so on, and put it in the group. Ask us, hey, would you guys mind being in here? So we'll back you up. I call them ringers, which sounds negative.
So that there's not people like the first person comes there and goes, well, where's everybody at this
party? Yeah, exactly. Because if you're on the strip and you walk into a nightclub and it's empty, you're like, nobody's here. I want to go. If it looks like it's hopping and fun. So go get a couple of friends and say, hey, will you guys populate this group and have my back, and do the same for other people. So I have ringers. I always have, like tonight, there was no need to. But if I'm doing a regular webinar, I will get certain people to come on early and start the chat, get it cranked up, get it going. So the same thing with a group. When I start a group, it's funny, I don't know if Tracy's here. Probably not, but she might be. Tracy Housel is always she's always the first person I add to every group I make. One, because I trust Tracy, and if I ever get locked out, she'll let me work through her account if I had to. Two, because, and I often make her an admin in a lot of things, because she's just the first person. I just add her first because she knows how to run everything, you know, like in case, if I were sick, like if I were really sick, I could go, Tracy, I need you to do this. I need you to, I'd give her my login in a minute and say, Tracy, be me. And, you know, or if I get locked out of a group. So she's just one of those people in my life that's been around for so many years and I just trust. And so she's, I suppose, my ringer extraordinaire.
I met her the day I met you.
Ringer, she's my ringer. How I said so. And I would be her ringer all day long, and I would do the same for somebody else. You always want to have another admin of a group in case you get locked out, because otherwise you're screwed. Like if you set up another profile or anything else, you also now, if you set up the page, I mean, if you set up the group through your page, you can actually add your profile as an admin. So you can have your page on your profile.
Oh, okay.
In your group. That's new. So that's the secret, Michelle, is just to sort. Just to sort and create lots of content and just keep pushing people toward, and you let them just sit in there and bake. So like I said, if you send 100 people to that site, 100 people that already spied you, and you send 100 people over, you're only going to get 20 that opt in.
Right. It's
most people think, but you lost 80. You didn't lose 80. You took 20. You skimmed.
Raise their hand.
You took the 20 that are seriously interested right now. The other people, if you ever become more sophisticated in marketing, which I'm not, because I never do this, but I should, and I get yelled at all the time, is you can actually go back and retarget and re-advertise to those people to keep yourself in front of them. And that's a whole nother story for another day. But if 100 people go by the site and 20 opt in, you now have 20 seriously interested people. If 20 people watch your story video and 2 order, and it took you no time, guess what? Now you can go get another 100.
Right.
You're not spending all that time. So people think that I spend my day messaging on Messenger and doing busy work. I do none of that. I create content or I could run ads that attracts people, that pushes them to my list. The only thing I ever promote is my list. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that the only thing you ever really see me promoting to any large extent in public is my list? Like this webinar, I said, hey, if you're on my list, you're going to get an invite.
Right.
Now, my intention was to set up like a capture page and connect the webinar to it. And then I was like, truth, I was doing it all weekend. Here it is, I didn't do it. You know, and so we have 50 people on here, which is not half bad considering, right? Considering that they didn't set up the fancy thing. I like to create things that I'm going to use for a period of time. Something that I'm using for one webinar, I'm just kind of like, I can't bother. Would I, you know, should I with in a box? Should I with a fox? Yeah, I should. I haven't. Maybe someday I'll get slick. But I'm not slick because I'm just somebody who's just out here helping people.
Well, and I don't want complicated. You know, ever since my surgery, you know, the doctor was worried I was going to bleed out on the table, and that triggered increased pressure in my head. And people think, oh, you're a doctor, you know, and I don't have the brain fog anymore, but my brain can't juggle things like it used to. I need simple.
Let me explain one other thing.
Easy, but I want simple that I can do.
Let me explain one other thing. And if you guys have questions and you want to put them in the Q&A, I'll look at that in a minute. Michelle, can I just get really like raw, truthful with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I'm speaking to myself and I'm speaking to all of you. A bunch of people will not listen because you're a woman. A bunch of people will not listen because you're a woman of a certain age. A bunch of people will not listen because they don't like the beads you're wearing. A bunch of people will not listen because you're a doctor. Well, she thinks she knows everything. A bunch of people won't listen because you've lost 65 pounds, but you haven't lost all of your weight. Well, why would I take weight loss advice from her? A bunch of people won't listen because you had this thyroid cancer and not uterine cancer. I don't know. What I know is that people, they have their own sorting processes. We all do. And that's why I'm using sorting processes to sort the sorting processes.
Got it.
Great quote. I'm using sorting processes to sort their sorting processes. I have no desire to overcome somebody's objection that it's a woman. I have no desire to overcome somebody's objection that's a woman over 50. I have no desire to overcome the objection that they don't like people with red glasses that don't match their shirt. I have no desire to overcome the objection that her nails are growing out. Aren't these attractive? Like they are falling off my fingers. It's just the
my girls wear their nails like that.
These are my nails, but they're and they're too long and I have to cut them and that's going to be a pain in the neck. But anyway, there's a million reasons. She talks too much. She's shrill. She's this, she's that. So you're much softer than me. All the reasons that somebody would eliminate me, I actually want them to eliminate themselves. That's my philosophy. I want them to eliminate themselves, but I need to get in front of enough people and I have to cast my nest wide enough to pull in enough people to allow them to do that. The average network marketer is so afraid of losing someone, right? They think they're losing someone, but that someone was never their prospect to start with.
Got it.
I'm wanting to lose the bulk of the people so that I can get to, like if I throw in a net and I want, I don't know what kind of fish, I don't know anything about fish. I want grouper and I pull up flounder in this, I don't know what fish swim near what, but if I pull up my net and I want a certain kind, I don't want all the other ones. I want the ones that are going to try the product without skepticism. See, if somebody's really skeptical, product ain't going to work for them. If somebody is worried about, like the minute they start going, oh, I get really buzzy, product's going to make them buzzy. If they think they eat at night, they're not, because they're not giving it a shot. You know, they're not coming in with an open mind. I want somebody who's like, yeah, I'll try it. That's what I want.
Well, I like what you said with the capture page and like the welcome video, and then you put your email in more, because it actually takes me out of the equation and yet lets me be in the equation. But it takes me as the, oh, I'm the psychiatrist. I like to listen. I like this back and forth. But you know what? That's going to kill me if I do that with, and I love people, but not everybody is looking for me. But I don't want to take 30 minutes to find that out. And you can't,
Michelle, you can't.
Yeah. So this takes that out of my hand. So I don't even feel guilty about, oh, I didn't give them time. I didn't really find out. I guess, you're saying, let them find out, but they still get to see me, hear me. So, I hope, enough of my personality comes out in the videos or when I talk that they know.
Once they buy, you can talk to them a little bit. And once they upgrade, you can talk to them some more. Once they decide they want to refer some people, you can talk to them more. Once they decide that they're going to hit senior, now you can talk to them more. Once they want to be 1-star, you can talk to them a lot, and so on. That's the realities of whether it's making a living at it, if you want to make some decent money, or whether it's just working around your family or your responsibilities or whatever it may be, okay? Those are the realities. If we take too much time, we lose our leverage. It doesn't mean we don't care.
Well, and I have to admit, this also was when I'm in home in North Carolina, my husband's super sensitive to see me on the phone and doing stuff. And I don't want that tension. I don't try to bring him into it or say, hey, I'm doing this or that. But, he's well, why are you on the phone? And so,
your son doesn't want you on the phone 12 hours a day.
Yeah. So the only reason I could do this, because I'm over here in Honolulu in the lower level of my brother's house, which is like its own little studio apartment. And I can, I have the time, but if I'm home with my kids and my husband, that's not the point of doing this, is to like totally, be, I don't mind putting in the work, but I don't want to disrupt what I'm,
I have a team member who shall remain nameless that's been in the industry for quite a while, and they're coming back into the industry and getting involved with this. And you know, they were kind of like tootling along, and then they said, well, if I get in, I get in, and their partner is sensitive because they tend to get really absorbed in it. And I said, that's not how this should roll. This should not be like that. We're looking to get out 10 of those 7 days a week if we're full-time, 10 a month if we're part-time, right? It doesn't need to be all-encompassing. And then out of the 10, we're sorting to C, and then we're starting to build down. We're not looking to talk to every single person. That's what the media is for, and that's the beauty. Back in the day, we did it with meetings. We gave a meeting and there were just more and more people at the meeting. It was leverage. Today, we utilize the technologies, the emails and the capture page and the video and a meeting, you know, like an online, a Zoom. We have the technology, and that's what allows you to have lifestyle. This is about having a lifestyle. If it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and some people I work around, that's their bag and that's what they do. That's not what I'm interested in. But hear me, because that doesn't mean I'm not working hard and creating systems that can do these things for me. And that's how I sent out an email at 5 o'clock and got 50 people on a webinar at 6 without even trying, without even writing any bullet points and the 3 secret ways to this, and that. Right? And back in the day when I used to be really in the game, I could get several hundred people like that. It's because I have a communication process, I have relationship with those. So that's what we're looking for. And if you set this up, and I'll come back if you want help, go check out your MLSP account, and if it looks like Funnelizer, which you should, let me know, and later on this week, or day or two, we can set up second part. Now, I will admit to you, I'm a little rusty on using it, but I know how to use it. I just haven't, because what starts to happen, and this is what I want you all to get, you can transcend traffic, you know, like running all the ads, you can transcend technology. The technology is very important, but the relationships and trust over time that you build become much more powerful than any piece of technology would be. Now, when I explain this to people, they all think I'm nuts, and that's okay. But you can transcend it. In the beginning, you have to learn it, you have to use it, and you have to do this stuff. And then later on, like there's certain people that can just mumble, I'm talking at whatever time, and everybody shows up. And it's because they've built that trust relationship. In the beginning, technology and your activity gives you the traction that you need. Eventually, you're having stuck around and hung around the flagpole and been present for people is what, you know, is really the game. It's really the game. So does anybody, I'm sorry. The hour's up, my throat is done. I thought we'd be on longer, but I think you understand the concept.
Yeah.
Build it
Even
together,
when
we
I
can.
have like this, you know, I put the guacamole and I'm like, you know, if you want the recipe, let me know, happy to share. And I was just doing that to get engagement on my page. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, you know, when they do get them, like, yeah, I'm so glad I can still eat this, you know, and lose, you know, I've been losing weight, but I'm so glad I can still eat this. And one person was like, oh, what are you doing? Would that be then where I say, hey, well, why don't you go to this and then send them to
Yeah.
video
Oh
page?
gosh, come over here and hear my story. It's great.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And so now it never feels like, see, we want to come in service, guys, not in manipulation, right? So I'm going to drop a hook. Like, I'm so glad I can still eat this. You know, I've lost 65 pounds. And this is one of the goodies I can still indulge in.
Yeah. And I didn't even start that way, but I'm like, oh, why not?
And then somebody, because I want to serve them, I want to help them lose weight if I can. So I'm gonna drop a hook to see if they bite. If they don't bite, I keep moving. But if I drop a hook, like if I say, oh God, I'm so glad I could still eat this, right? And they bite, now I want to point them towards information, which would be my little capture system. Oh my God, go over here. I share my whole story on how it works.
Okay.
And then don't say a lot, because that's what people do is, Just let the website do the talking.
Oh gosh, yeah, when I started this, I think it was, yeah,
Everybody does.
yeah.
Michelle, you know, it's interesting. Here's how I know who's serious, right? Like people will show up all the time and they say, I want to be your student. I want to learn from you. I want to show up. I want to be your student. I want to be your protege, blah, 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 blah. But they don't read my emails. They're not serious. Or they don't come when I do train or I do a live or I do this or that. They don't show up and they don't watch. And it's clear that they're not plugged in. So I know that they like me, they think they want to learn, but they haven't shown up, right? So it's the same with a customer. They asked the question, they were curious, but they didn't go opt in. They're not serious. Doesn't mean they won't be later. That's why you keep putting out content.
Right.
You don't, you know, it's not like they didn't opt in, they're gone forever. No, but I know when they're serious, and that's what we're doing here. So I might have a person that's been hanging around my camp for forever. They just were whatever, and they just found out they lost their job last week, and they come to me and they go, I'm serious. And I'm like, okay, I want you to go watch this and do this. I know right away if they're serious. Like you have been promoting, put a little money behind it. You've been working all these hours. You're serious. So now we give you the next stage, and then we see, are you serious to learn how to sort the people? And then you're going to have problems with it. I promise you. It doesn't work, or this and that, or my emails didn't go out, or whatever. And then I fix it and I help you fix it. And then we go, okay, let's see if she does this. And that's how we sort. Same with True, $29 set. They buy it, and then they start telling you, well, I didn't start it. I didn't start it. They're not serious right now. They have a sample set. We'll follow up with them, see if we can get them on it later, but they're not serious right now. Somebody does 7 days and they're not itching to place an order. I could probably try to bully them into an order, but I'd really rather spend the time with the person that's like, oh my God, I love this product. You and Justin are the prime examples of people that I did not try to convince, did not try to cajole, didn't do anything. The product worked. You wanted to order it. You've been on it ever since. You've been on it for a year almost.
June.
Oh,
Yeah.
June. Okay.
Yeah.
So think about it. Have I 1 month called you up and said, Michelle, you need to order?
Well, no, because I get it every month to make sure I'm not out of
You're
it.
holding
I
it
love
for
it.
right? Right? So you get it like you get it on like 2 continents, you know, like
I actually order for both places I'm at so that I don't run out of my MSN and my other good stuff. Oh, yeah.
So do you see what I'm saying? When a you comes along, all you got to do is love them and be there for them. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to ride them. when a you comes along, and then when a you goes, I'd like to make more money with this, you help them. You don't have to ride them. And when a you comes along, when a Justin comes along, when, you know, certain people, other people, you'll just love them. If they're using the product, you super love them because they're your customers, whether they're an associate or not, they're your customers. And other people never put a capsule. Well, I just finished my empty. Never put a capsule in their face. And you know why? As Jim Rohn said, I wouldn't sign up for that class. I just keep casting the net.
Yeah, and that's what I've learned is and that's why I am too. I will do something in my time when I'm ready, when it's right for me, and I have to honor that in somebody else. So I'm really there to help them, but it's really their decision, their choice.
It's also your job to be the most attractive, putting out content, helping people, and being visible so they know that you're there.
Well, and you gave me some direction, and I'm like, you know, Lisa Grossman, you had put something like, when the coach tells you to do this, and I don't mean coach, like, I mean football coach, you know.
No, I'm all for the word coach. I'm just not for like $4 million coaching. Okay.
Okay. Like, I knew you didn't really like, I'm not a coach, but
no, like, because everything has this weird thing. Like I'm trying to tell you, let people come in their time, but I'm not telling you to sit and go, oh, it's not their time. See, it's the 2 sides of the coin.
But you gave me direction. You're like, hey, put out content every day. And I really hadn't been for whatever. And I'm like, okay, Diane says this, I'm going to. So like I put something about, you know, the supplements I'm using for good health and to help my immune system right now on my personal page. And then I did something on my business page. And so each day I'm going to do some of that because, you know, that's what you said, to get in front of people. And so,
And
yeah.
tell stories, whatever you do. And I've told everybody right now, tell stories, tell stories, tell stories. That's what people dig.
But if I wasn't doing that, you'd be like, well, is, you know, Michelle really serious?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
And I think
mean,
a lot
it's printed and it's on the refrigerator. So every time I go there, I've got it there. I've got my schedule of when I go walking with, you know, the True Debt Zoom people and our meetings and things like that. So, and for me, I also need that because, like I said, my brain doesn't juggle things. So I'm trying to find what works for me. But, you know, I have to be in motion. You know, I volunteered to host our overview meeting I get to do it this Thursday, first time on Zoom, but I'm like, if I don't do that, I won't stay in motion. I want to stay in motion so I can be out there and help people and reach more people. Because when it comes down to it, I really want to help people.
My biggest advice for you that night or afternoon or whatever, when you do it, you keep it tight and stay with the format. Don't talk.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm the host.
Whoever is the host, it's never about the host. Like a lot of people think, oh God, that one's such a good speaker and this and that. It's never about the host. It's about showcasing the stories. Your story is one of them, but it's about showcasing the stories. That's the whole.
Yeah, I have 4 other people having some awesome stories. So I get to, Olivia's one of them.
99% of the time, somebody else's story is going to be better than yours. I mean, yours is pretty spectacular, but a lot of times there's going to be something more, and utilizing that is always power. Remembering that you're not the issue. Your story is there to inspire, but you're not the issue. And it's the same with everything. In marketing, you know, my success is there to inspire, but it's not the issue. Teaching people how to do something is what it's all about. And it just all reads. So I'm sorry, did anybody, hey Bridget, anybody have a question? You can put it in the chat or in the Q&A. I'm going to wrap it here because I'm like you, Michelle, I'll just keep talking.
Yeah, we want to save your voice.
We've consumed enough.
We want to save your voice, and I've got, so I know what place to start.
And then I want you to go check out your MLSP account and see if you have that functionality. I'm pretty sure you do. If not, we'll find your solution.
Okay.
And then we can regroup, and maybe you can start on it and see what you figure out. And if not, we'll do it together. And that will be good for me because, guys, notice I need to brush up on it. So why not do it with Michelle? Because I'm always more excited when I'm helping somebody else than when I'm doing the stuff for myself. It's true. I don't know if you guys are like that. Helping her put together her funnel is more interesting to me than putting together my own. It's true.
Yeah, I didn't know what you're gonna have me do today, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll be all ready.
Well, I wanted to make sure we had the concept. I mean, and you have to decide whether you want the funnel or whether you want the
Well, and this absolutely helps because even when you mentioned video when we were in Dallas, you know, I was like, well, what and how? And because I've never done it before.
Yeah, that's what you're going to need. Just jot this down really quick. Or I'm going to give you the recording to this and you can also listen to it. So don't worry about jotting it down. The first video on the front page, and these have to be made before we can build it. It's like, hey, you made it. It's Michelle, and I'm so glad you decided to visit my page and find out how I've lost 65 pounds and 13 inches around my waist. Put in your name and email and come to the next page and I'll show you how. Or put in your name and email and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, that's the first video. Very simple. The second video is welcome back. And then you tell the story, you know, before I started with these products. And by the way, the name of the company is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. The name of the product is irrelevant.
Right.
Tell the story and let them go look at it. It's irrelevant. So you don't have to say before I started with the True Vision products, because then everybody's like, what is True Vision? So yeah,
I don't think it, yeah.
Before I started using these supplements, I was blank. First thing I noticed was blank. Since then, The best part is this. And right below this video, you'll find links to a couple other little things I put together for you. But if you're ready to get started right now, you can click on the link to buy now. It's $29. Try it for 7 days, and then I'll follow up with you personally. We could talk about your goals. Okay, and you can grab this off of the
Yeah, I'll come back and listen.
recording, but see, that makes sense. So then we might have a couple other options to look at, and then we're going to have the link to buy now. What we're going to do is link that directly to your True Vision page.
Okay.
So you don't need a shopping cart or anything like that. It's very not complicated. You got to have those 2 videos.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good.
You know what? Do me a favor. In the second video, don't mention the other videos. Just say, if you're ready to get started, click below and go ahead and get your 7-day experience now, whatever. And then I have to see if the functionality will allow us to put some links there. If there is, we'll say, need more info, check these out. And we'll put a couple others.
Okay. Got it. Sounds good. Now,
It's really, it shouldn't, if I were,
I'm doing taxes tomorrow for.
sounds like a great time and all.
So yeah, so I probably won't do it tomorrow, but I am going to.
I have a couple of appointments tomorrow, so it has to be Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay, that sounds.
Okay. Bridget, it can, well, it depends. It's not just a capture page. You need a second page that can link out. So it depends on what tool you have. It can be done with ClickFunnels. It can be, and again, guys, if you're going to buy any of these things, please ask me. It can be done with ClickFunnels, it can be done with Lead Pages, it can be done with MLSP's Funnelizer. Aweber now has capture pages, but I don't think it has a secondary page you can use.
Okay.
So I don't think that will do it for you. I have another one that I can give like free accounts to. That's a page builder. The free account does have some limitations on it. In fact, there's a lot of limitations on it, but something to get started with. There's like a lot of things like Zoom. You can use Zoom for free, but then there's limitations. Or you can get a paid Zoom account. If anybody hasn't heard about the Working Live special offer, please ask me about that. It's incredible for live conferencing. But so a lot of things have a free version, but the free version is limited or it has their branding or something. So I'd have to look and see what you guys are looking at to determine whether it's a good option. Yeah, Eugene, it is the Zoom. It's not a Zoom deal, just so we all know, because it's Working Live, and Working Live does have Zoom as its partner, just for languaging properly. I'm pretty sure Aweber can't do it. Bridget, but check it out. It's new and I haven't messed with it. You can do it with Kajabi. You can do it with, there's lots of tools out there. If you guys are like on super budget, one of the ones that I have, I'm pretty sure I can give you an account that would be functional enough. Let me know if you're on super budget. But what I want you guys to think about is a lot of tools give you, like right now in MLSP, I could give you 30 days for $1 right now, and you make it profitable. And that's my philosophy always, is that you make it profitable before the end of the month. So MLSP, I can get you 30 days. There's another one I have that I'm almost sure it's free. I haven't used it in a while, but I can take a look. In fact, I built a Williams little which he has right now while he's getting his main website done on that tool. It's simple, it's rudimentary, but it works. See, if they spied you and likes your story, they're not going to care. They don't care if your website's fancy. If somebody doesn't know you from a hole in the ground, your website better look good. Legit. You guys realize that I ran my business, my blog got infected, I forget what year, like 2016. And I didn't have a website from 2016 to 2018. And I made, like, in 2016, I think I made well over $500,000. So I really want you guys to get that the thing you think is the thing that's holding you back. I'm not saying you said that, Bridget, but I'm just saying a lot of times people have this idea that I can't do this if I don't have this, or I can't do this because of that. It's all the story. Remember, I didn't have any of this technology when I started. I thought an autoresponder, you know, when I got my first autoresponder, you could only put 4 letters. Made a lot of money with it. It's your attitude, it's your thought process, it's your energy, it's your, it's the way you ramp the people. It's not the tool. Because then why do some people make millions with ClickFunnels and some people lose money, spend gobs of money? Why? Why do, you know, why have I made so much money at MLSP and other people make nothing? You know, why has Angel Fletcher made more money than most every person in the industry for the year, last year? And she uses none of this. Why haven't I made money like her, even though I'm a professional? Because it's her energy about this. It's her energy, it's her love, it's her passion. My love and passion is marketing, but I love the product and it's a great residual. And I love it. It's a great residual and it's great for a lot of you. But I don't have passion about that in the same way, if that makes sense. So that's why I don't get that. Now, if you sat me down and started me talking about, like you see me now, I don't feel good and I'm still lit up because I'm teaching Michelle how to sort all the people and it's going to change her life and it's incredible. And she's going to be happy. And when she goes back to Carolina, she's not going to get in trouble in her household. It's going to be wonderful. And she's going to see her children and a puppy and it's going to be great. And she's still going to get the same end result. The same, because she's gaining leverage and she's going to get that same end result of the right customers and that the right set of people that's going to make the money that she wants. And she will have eliminated all the busy work. I don't like busy work. I don't believe in it. I'm against it, Michelle.
That's okay.
I'm not for busy work. Down with the busy work. I'm going to get off of here.
Okay.
It may not sound bad to you, but I can feel it's weird. So.
Yeah, you can tell just a little. I mean, you don't sound bad, but you.
No, it's just, I can feel it. So, hey, Lou. Lou, you and I need to catch up. I just saw Lou said hi. So, so that's everybody. This is Michelle Mock, MD. Visit her fan page. Send her some love. Guys, if you see each other's posts, back each other up and add some hearts and comment. If you see each other going live, just jump in. You don't have to stay the whole time, but just jump in and edify one another. And really help each other out. It makes such a big difference, such a big difference. And if Michelle does start a group, she will be calling upon some of you to be her ringers, okay? And maybe some testers for her emails or something to read them and see if they make sense. So.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to go. For those of you that know Ray Williams and the Society of I Am, he is doing a meditation at 9 p.m. Eastern. It was supposed to happen on Easter. We had a little technical glitch. So he will be out there if any of you guys want to relax for a little bit.
Okay.
And I, on the other hand, will be not talking to any of you for the rest of the evening. So.
Peace out.
All right. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for oh, wait, there's one last question in here. Oh, no, Scott says, thank you, Diana Michelle. You're very, very, very welcome. All right. So hopefully that was, like I said, it was for everybody. My list, it went out to my MLSP folks. It went out to my True Vision folks. Hopefully that gives you a little idea. The whole key though is to getting that action on the front end, and then we can sort them in the back.
Sounds good.
Come back and talk a little bit about how to get that action on the front end, because I know a lot of people are looking for, they're like, well, this is awesome, but how do I get that side? And there's a science to it. Eugene, there is a recording. I don't know what I'm doing with it. We shall see. If you need it, let me know. I'll get it for you, but I may put it behind a capture page. Michelle, maybe that's what we'll do. I'll build a capture page for this, build a capture page for you, and we'll all build capture pages together. I haven't built one in a little while. I'm a little delinquent, but you can take the attraction marketer, the funnel business, but you can't take the funnel out of the attraction marketer, or however that works. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Everybody have a great evening, and I hope you have a happy Easter, happy Passover, all that other good stuff. And Michelle, mahalo. I wish I were there. It's torrentially miserable here.
Thanks.
Soon, when this thing's over. You said I could come sometime. I think I'm down. We'll see y'all later. Everybody have fun.